All right, welcome back to the B team. We got a big week ahead of us. Season's on the line, jobs on the line. World Series begins.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Sorry for your loss. Losses. So let's get right into that, actually.
Let's not waste time.
Bad week. Lots of very good pickups coming into the week. You had Amari Cooper going to the Buffalo Bills, catching balls that he doesn't even know the routes. And then you had Devontae Adams go to the Jets, and he's already speaking on their season, how it's going. He's been there for 6 days. I think that's crazy. That was one of the craziest interviews I've ever watched. He's talking about what this team has to get better at. Buddy, you've been there for 5 hours, and you're making comments on that. I thought that was insane. Do you want me to go into this game before you start?
Oh, yeah, because I'm going to have a long talk about this game.
Right.
No, I'm not even.
So I want to keep this more focused on the Jets to begin here, and then we'll get into the Steelers. That's a whole different discussion. So the Steelers win this game 37-15. They score 31 unanswered points in Russie's debut. Shout out to Russie. Big win. But at this point, I mean, we're close to the halfway spot in the season. Is the Jets' season over? I think we really have to start considering that, because you look at the rest of their schedule. All right, they have the Patriots. Okay. They have the Texans. Tough game. They have the Cardinals. Going to be a tough game. They have the Colts Sunday Night Football. We're going to it. They better win. Seahawks, tough game. Dolphins with Tua, tough game. Jags will be a tough game, I think, at that point. Rams, always a tough game. Bills, tough game. Dolphins, tough game. Like, it's not a cakewalk. And to make the playoffs, they probably got to win 9 of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they can't slip up anywhere throughout this whole rest of the season. There's no room for slip-ups unless the Bills somehow fall off a cliff and the Dolphins are terrible. And I just look at this team, and I'm like, all right, the offense sucks, booty cheeks. The wide receivers aren't getting it done. They're dropping balls into other people's arms. The running game is, for the better part of the season, non-existent. It's terrible. They have a game where they give Brees the ball and he gets 100 yards, and then we don't see it for 2 weeks. I don't understand that. The O-line is not good. Aaron Rodgers, I think, is like 10th in sacks this year, and he's being pressured way too much for an old guy. He's going to have a heart attack. And I think you're not going to agree with this one, but I think we all made a mistake in looking at this defense and saying this is a top 10. They're going to get even better. They're going to be great. They're going to be the best defense in the league. They were the best defense last year. The only 2 defenses in the modern era, in any era, that got better after being the best and got better and just continued to get better and better was Legion of Boom in Seattle and then the Chicago Bears back in the day. Like, that's not something that occurs. And we all looked at this defense and we're like, oh, yeah, they're going to hold everyone to 15 or less points. That's just not possible, especially in today's NFL. You know, Patrick Mahomes is out here talking about how he purposely stays in bounds because he knows they can't hit the quarterback. Like, it's not possible unless you completely lock down the wings. Like, you can't let wide receivers get the ball. That's already tough enough. The run game already tough enough. You can't touch the quarterback. And I think this team is flawed on both sides of the ball, all 3 phases. You have a quarterback that is clearly washed up. He's clearly terrible. Aaron Rodgers, was he a G? He was. He's not anymore.
You know what
he's a washed-up G. I want to read you his stats, Mike.
Go ahead.
He's averaging an interception per game right now. He's 4th most in the league with 7. He's got 61.7 completion percentage, which when you look at his other seasons, yeah, that's not too bad. But when you look at how this season has gone, it's pretty bad. Like, there's guys clearly dropping the ball. He's missing throws. He's underthrowing. Then he's blaming it on them. You don't see Baker Mayfield blaming, I think it was Godwin or Mike Evans for that one. Yeah, RIP.
We'll get
to that. 17 sacks. I've already said that's the 10th most. He's got a 48.8 QBR. He's below guys like Bo Nix, Justin Fields. Justin Fields doesn't even throw the ball. Like, how do you have a lower one than him? He doesn't even play the quarterback position. Andy Dalton, who consistently gets blown out by 30, 40 points. And then Derek Carr, who since week 2 has not played quarterback well for the life of him. I don't understand this. You guys are 2-5. You should have just kept Zach Wilson. At least you would have been 4-3. You would have been 4-3. Zach Wilson probably gets you guys the wins because you're just handing the ball off to Brees, and he knows I can only throw to 2 guys.
I was so happy this morning, and like now I'm here, and I'm
sorry I have to do this.
But
like, am I wrong? Am I wrong?
Whenever you're done, I will take.
I'm done.
I will take the baton.
Yeah,
and
go
I will
ahead.
Go here. Aaron, you said Aaron Rodgers is a G. Nah, he's a K. And you know what the K stands for? Kirk Cousins. That's exactly what he is, bro. And you know what? I just want to say this. I got so much shit for being against this. Matt DiStefano, if you're ever listening to this, you saw me when we were working together and I was against this shit. Carlo, Abe, Gas. I was the only one being like, dude, this is going to bring us a bunch of bullshit that's going to kill this team. Look what it's brought us. Lucas Berry, shout out to you. He tried to warn me about this. I'm like, you know what? You're right, dude. But like, maybe this could be different. But I still kind of feel where you're coming from. We're on the headlines, the main headlines every single week. Aaron Rodgers, his interviews is on every single media outlet every single week in and week out. Now listen, is it all on him? No, it's not all on him. It is just the organization and everything that goes below it is a whole domino effect.
Yeah.
I will say this, Aaron Rodgers, his mobility is killing this team. He can't move. Like, when you're watching this guy, take away from the greatness that he's had in the past and everything else, dude, is he not Kirk Cousins right now? I'm sorry. Is he not Kirk Cousins right now? He can only stay in the pocket. He's missing throws left and right. But the problem is he wants to blame everybody else. Why don't you take some fucking accountability for once? I'm going to try not to curse. I'm sorry. But I don't know if you saw my story. I was watching Get Up, Woody, Rex Ryan, Greeny.
Yeah, I saw it, yeah.
That is such a good point. Mm-hmm. Because, yeah, you're playing for the name on your back, but Woody had the best point of them all. We're a roster, bro. We are not a team. We're not a team.
Yeah.
Listen, if you're a casual fan, you look at and you hear these names, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers. Like, do you not think this team would be, 12-5, 12-4, and be a good team? And like,
You
I
guys
just
should not
don't.
be 2-5,
Which is wild to me because okay, so going back to your question, I don't think the season is over yet because there's still a lot of seasons to be played, but they need to hurry up fast. They need to start getting off wins because if they lose next week, then they're really digging themselves in a hole. Hey, ever since the loss to the Broncos, the loss to the Bills, the loss to the Steelers, dude, those were all winnable games. Every single one of those was a winnable game. But if just talking about the Jets here, Garrett Wilson,
real quick,
go ahead.
I genuinely how many wins do they need to get into the playoffs?
A lot. They need probably 8 to 10 wins.
Yeah, and they're at 2 right now.
Yes.
Right? So they would have to win 6 to 7 games to have a slim chance.
Anything can happen, bro. Anything can happen. Anything can happen in the NFL, man. Truly. Listen, the Bengals started out 1-5, 1-4. Now they're starting to rattle off some wins, and their percentage of getting to the playoffs is very, very low. There's still a chance. That's what I'm saying. If you go to numbers, there is still a chance that they can win. They can get into the playoffs and sneak in with a wild card. Because let's be real here. The AFC is strong. We know that. But there are some teams that are not as strong as we thought. You know what I mean? Because think about it. We'll probably have the Bills are winning the East right now, which is what it's looking like. The AFC South, Falcons or Bucks. The AFC West, I mean, it's really just the Chiefs. So there probably are two spots in the AFC wildcard up for grabs. And I'm not saying we're going to get it, but I'm saying that we still have a chance if we could just get our shit together and rattle off some wins and actually come as a team and play like a team. Because the locker room looks lost. Woody Johnson, if I'm pointing fingers, and of course with the Jets, you got to point fingers because that's all we do. Our captain, quote unquote captain, does that. Woody Johnson firing Saleh midseason, like, listen, it had to be done. Did it have to be done there? No. I think every Jets fan expected Robert Saleh to get fired at the end of the year. But this is what happens when your owner has say in football decisions. And that's what drives me crazy because look at Christopher Johnson when he hired Adam Gase. Do I need to say more? Look at freaking Woody doing what he's doing. Like, hire someone who's going to make football decisions. You're a fan. You're the owner. You just sit back and enjoy the ride. Because it's like Jerry, bro. Same thing with Jerry. You understand?
No. Listen, Jerry Jones puts together a good team and puts together a roster that comes together and he builds it properly.
Yeah,
right.
But he's made bad moves.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's great.
Yes, agreed.
Clearly it's not great, but I can't really be mad all the time. Like, if I was a Jets fan, I'd be pissed all the time because this guy's a moron.
I know that.
I said it 2 weeks ago. Sitting right here. That man should be sent out onto the streets of New York. He should be fired. He should be removed. He should be removed from the NFL. He shouldn't be allowed to buy any more teams.
That's the thing, though. It's like Jerry has experience, and that's the difference between those two.
Who's worse, the A's owner or Woody?
Oh, man, that's tough.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
That's bad. And you know what? But that just goes to show how shitty this organization is. Because Jerry has actually made, like, good moves.
Made good moves.
Like, he has made good moves. Yes, are some questionable. Yeah, he didn't go for Derrick Henry. He didn't do this. He didn't do this. But he also drafted a lot of linemen in the draft that have been hits. He has signed CeeDee Lamb. He has Dak. It's we don't have that, bro.
His bad moves aren't hiring people. It's
just making a bad move.
It's passing up on people.
It's passing up on people and re-signing someone who should have been re-signed.
Yes, but I would rather have that than what's going on in New York,
100%.
where you're signing people that shouldn't be signed.
I
would rather pass up and then be like, oh, that sucks. We missed on that one.
No.
Like, that's fine, because as long as you hit on the ones you actually bring in, which we normally do.
Yeah.
They normally play to their...
Your drafts have been great, by the way.
Phenomenal.
So,
but what's happening in New York is embarrassing for Woody. It's embarrassing for the team. It's embarrassing for the franchise, the fans. The players should be even more embarrassed because they're being brought in. They're given this trust from the organization, and they're not performing. Aaron Rodgers is number one on that list. Devontae Adams only getting 3 catches for 33 yards. No, I understand.
He just got there.
No,
I get it.
Listen, Mike, I get that.
But they've been
I'm
playing
looking up
together
there
for a
in
while.
Buffalo with Josh Allen, who's a
And
crazy
Amari Cooper.
person, and a bunch of young guys, and Keon Coleman out there on the field telling Amari Cooper where to run.
Yeah.
And Amari Cooper's going out there scoring touchdowns, getting like, that's where I'm kind of sitting here like, okay, Keon Coleman, rookie. Garrett, you're not a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
You should be helping Devontae Adams just go through the playbook, getting him open. We should be able to get him the ball. Aaron Rodgers and him played for years together.
I mean, it is kind of his playbook. So, you know what? That is a good point, though. He should have got more action.
Yeah,
Yes.
It's not like he doesn't know Aaron Rodgers.
Agreed.
It's not like he doesn't know his like movements and how he runs the game. Like, Josh Allen and Amari Cooper, completely different situation.
Yeah, they've never played together.
How do you only get 3 catches to what is now your best wide receiver? I know Garrett Wilson's fantastic. He's not your best wide receiver anymore. How is he only getting 3 catches in the game?
Yeah. Let me ramble here. I know what you're coming from. I understand your frustration because you have the Jets blood in you, and listen, man, I've been here. I know, bro. This is new to you. You've been a somewhat Jets fan for, let's say, 3 years now.
I'm so excited to boo them on Sunday Night Football.
Huh?
I'm gonna boo them so loud on Sunday Night Football if it goes bad.
Dude, listen, we're gonna win the tailgate. It's all that matters. We're gonna win somehow, and it's gonna be a freaking tailgate. But let me go through the players here and the coaches and whatnot. Ulbrich, I don't want to hear any shit about this guy right now because he's calling number one, calling defensive plays, and now he's a head coach. He has a lot on his plate, and honestly, I thought he's done pretty well. Like, regardless of the score and everything else, I think they like him, and I think he's a leader, and I think the defense plays for him. But this is the issue, bro. The offense, the players, like I think Breece Hall's a stud. We all know that. I still think Garrett's a stud too. Everyone wants to shit talk Garrett like he's not number 5 in the league right now as a receiver for points, whatever, fantasy terms, whatever. Still a beast. He had one bad play that he doesn't have. He has a couple fumbles once in a blue moon, but he's a stud, bro. He's one of the best I've seen in my lifetime on a Jets roster. Probably Brandon Marshall, blah blah blah. I can go through the list, but he's one of the best that I've seen. The elusiveness, the quickness. Rodgers, again, he didn't play bad, but dude's missing throws. He's forcing shit. Like, this is all I wanted. He went to Egypt. He did this. He's on his freaking Tuesday podcast, and I just wanted wins. Hey, listen, if he gets wins, I don't care. But here we are, sitting 2-5 right now. With the start we did not need. And the play calling. Everything is just a fucking concoction of disastrous calls, plays. Like, there's just no leadership. And like, I know I harp on that so much, but like, you've played soccer, dude. I've played sports in my life, like volleyball, for example. Like, when we knew that there were teams that were better than us, but like, we believed in each other. We believed that we could beat any team, bro. And we made it far, man. Like, that's all it takes. Right now, I don't think there's any of that. There is none of that. And how are you going to win games? Apparently, he said they were flat coming into the game. How the hell are you flat coming into a Sunday night football game in Pittsburgh?
Who said that?
Aaron Rodgers. And now he wants to start blaming the media. Like, this is what we asked for, right? We wanted to go all in. Okay, we went all in. I get it. We went all in. Hey, we did it. We want Woody, by the way. Listen, Joe Douglas deserves a little slack, but he didn't have power over this. This is why I'm saying Woody needs to stop making calls because who did he sign? Aaron Rodgers. Who'd he sign? Nathaniel Hackett. Who'd he sign? Alan Lazard. He made those plays. He made those calls. Maybe Joe D had the little Lazard call, but that's okay. He's done okay. He hasn't done terrible. I mean, he sucks, but he's done all right. But the O-line, Tyron Smith, listen, I love the guy. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. He's looked lost out there. It's bad. He has looked terrible. The run game, when you give Brees the ball, he succeeds. The play calling, how many times, it's just, bro, it's the same old song and dance. How many times are we going to live in third and long? How many times are we going to live in third and long? The defense, listen, Sauce is too handsy. Too many PIs. I still think he's a top guy. DJ Reed, top guy, but he's too handsy. The defensive line is an issue. Has Reddick coming back? Is he going to save us now? No, he's not. Will McDonald, stud. Our run defense is not good. But the thing is, when you're throwing interceptions and turnovers, and the defense, when they just get off the field, you either go 3 and out or you turn over the ball. How can you hold them to so many points when they are constantly on the field? This is what people do not understand. They want to rip the defense apart, but they are on the field for 3 quarters the whole freaking game. But it's annoying. It's annoying. It's annoying. Listen, I can't give up on this team yet. I did it with the Mets. I was brought back in. We made it to the NLCS. I can't give up on this team, man. We're just way too good on paper to be fucking 2-5 and to just go out of the season, 3-13, like 3-14. Listen, we're too good. We just need to clean it up. We need to fucking have a meeting and talk about what we need to do better. And we need to execute. I feel like the execution has just not been there. The Garrett Wilson drop, the runs, the O-line, man. The O-line has potential, but they just need to mesh a little bit more. I think against the Patriots, this is a must-win, cannot lose. It's one of those. Like, you have to go in there, and you need to prove yourself because, one, your season's on the line now.
So you're saying this is a can't lose?
Can't lose.
Okay.
It's not. It's a can't lose.
Not a must-win.
Not a must-win. Can't lose.
Can't lose.
But I don't know, man. Like, I'm just watching this team. I'm seeing Rodgers throw the ball. That was his best throw, by the way, was to Garrett. And listen, the defender, whoever that was, put a good play on it. And that's a tough catch, man, because he just missed by a freaking millimeter from the ball. But it's just a shit show, man. Listen, this is what happens when you fire people throughout the season. You have an interim head coach in Jeff Ulbrich. We have no offensive guys. You have Nathaniel Hackett just fucking eating hot dogs on the sideline. Todd Downing is trying his best to get something going, but we don't have a run game. Like, I just, it's tough to watch, bro. It is tough because, listen, we scored that touchdown with Brees. It was 15-6. Like, all right, like, we can do this. We have a chance to win, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know, man. I think this Aaron Rodgers, I think he's fucking overhyped as hell. Like, is he still our best chance to win? Yeah. But he's overhyped. And this GOAT debate, throw it out the window, bro. I'm sorry. He is not a GOAT. He is nowhere close to being the GOAT. I can name 5 other guys that are the potential GOAT right now. And one of them's in the league. 2 of them are probably in the league right now. Actually, probably just 1. But we don't have to get into that. But listen, all right, let's move on to the Steelers. Do you have anything else on the Jets? But do you know where I'm coming from? Do you know what that's what I mean, though. It's like, from your organization, from top down, Woody making these calls is hurting us, bro. Woody needs to stop and just fucking hire some president of operations where you could just sit back and watch. Just shut the fuck up and just let them do their job, bro. Like, seriously. Joe Douglas, listen, if he didn't have that crazy draft, he wouldn't be here either.
He'd be out of the job.
Yeah. But he's tried. And that's the thing, though. He's tried. Zach Wilson whiff. Becton whiff. He solidified, quote unquote, the O-line. He brought in Tyron Smith. He drafted Olu. Like, I think he has the right idea. But our coaching is not there. It's like my fucking golf game, bro. Listen, the driver is Aaron Rodgers. Slicing right, missing throws. The O-line is my putting. I'm 3 putting, 2 putting. Who knows? Maybe I'll have a birdie once in a while. It is so similar to my golf game. It's actually funny because now every time I watch this game, it's like, okay, what part of my golf game is going to screw up today? And I'm going to look at the Jets. What part of the Jets is going to screw up today? But that's really it, man. I don't know. It's rough to see, especially after the Mets loss. We'll get into that too. But let's get into the Steelers real quick because
all right.
Can we get into the Steelers?
Yeah.
Hell of a game.
Yeah, Russie proved a lot of people wrong. Mike.
He made shout out to Mike Tomlin for that. He made the right call, gutsy, but hey, that's why he's been there for so long. Yeah. You know, and you could compare that organization and that coaching staff to what we have. They look like a team, do they not? They look like a team. They run the ball. They have an identity. They have George Pickens, bro. Who else do they have? Nobody. Van Jefferson. Okay, yards. Sure. 5 for 111 and a tutty, something like that. Dude, and why is Sauce just not trailing him the whole time? Like, can we stop with this schematic bullshit and just have him go man on man? Mm-hmm. Seriously, like, what are you doing here? Surtain does the same shit.
Yeah,
he's on man. He's out now, but we need to start doing that. Like, give him the Revis treatment. If he fails, so be it. Then you change it up. Mm-hmm. Let him freaking just having a try and just attempt to guard the wide receiver one. I love Brandon Echols. I think he's a very underrated guy. No way should he be on George Pickens because those two throws, the one for a touchdown and the one that he somehow caught in midair.
Yeah.
Where Sauce wasn't on him. DJ Reed wasn't on him. I don't even know if DJ played at this point. That's how screwed up in my mind I was. But why don't you put your best corner on that guy? What do you have, Maud? Pat Freiermuth? Jesus Christ, dude. What are we doing here? What are we doing?
Yeah.
But you know what? Shout out to the Steelers because they actually have an identity. What are we? What are the Jets? I don't know. What the hell are we? A dumpster fire? Or how about this? We're the same old Jets. That's what I think we are.
You are the same old Jets.
That's exactly what we are.
You are the same old Jets, and that is why you will not be a playoff contender.
I wouldn't be shocked.
For you.
So people say Super Bowl contender.
With the addition of Russie and what he did on Sunday, are we saying that this Steelers team is a Super Bowl contender now? Can they actually contend with the AFC with that defense, with that production that they had this past weekend? Can they actually go for a Super Bowl this year?
Is it crazy to say possibly? Because let's think about, all right, what are the AFC powerhouse teams right now? You have Lamar and the Ravens. They could beat them.
So you have the Chiefs.
You have the Chiefs.
Texans.
They could beat them. The Texans are a little lost right now.
The Ravens.
It's just those three.
Steelers usually.
The Bills.
The Bills. I would put the Bills in there now with Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
After that, it's like Bengals maybe if they get hot.
For me, I listen, yes, okay. I'm going to give shout out to Bailey, shout out to Logan, Tommy, Darius,
Chuck.
Petey, Chuck. I still think even though they threw 37 on us, like they had a pick that was like stopped on the 1 yard line. Their defense is great. The offense still kind of concerns me. I mean, listen, it's 1 week. Russell looked good. He had listen, he took his chances on the one-on-one balls and they paid off. Like I'm pretty sure he was 100% on the one-on-one balls. Mm-hmm. Like jump ball to Pickens, he was getting it every time. I think they can still a Super Bowl contending team possibly. I still think there are better teams ahead, but they're a playoff team 100%. And like, listen, they can get hot at the right time. They could play a hard game. The defense just has to play well. They have to play like they did against the Jets, man. They do. Now the question is, do you ride with Russ or do you keep Fields on the sideline? I don't know. And it's a good problem to have, but what you've seen from Russ right there against us, I mean, you got to give him at least another chance. No, you have to.
All right, so here's where I'm at on this. Listen, Russell Wilson holds the record right now for most games in a row with a touchdown pass.
I did see that.
He's got 20 games in a row. It's the longest streak ever. They had one touchdown pass coming into this game. They had two last night.
It's
Russell Wilson, you could tell he was rusty in the first quarter, but once the second quarter started, I mean, Justin Fields was up throwing balls in the first quarter. Second quarter started, and all of a sudden it was like Russ, something clicked in his head, and it was just like, football, we're back. I think our whole Sean Payton ruined our perception of Russell Wilson.
Yeah, 100%.
He ruined our perception
he
of Russell
didn't do
Wilson
that bad in the Broncos either.
When he was out there in the Broncos country, let's ride. Bad team. Coach hated the quarterback for whatever reason, but Russ was still putting up numbers.
100%.
Was it kind of like bad to watch? Yes, but the team wasn't good. He has a much better organization and team now. He has a running back in Najee Harris who's running for 100 yards a game. That's a stretch. 80 yards a game. He's got a wide receiver in Pickens who, if you actually throw him the football, crazy to think, but if you throw him the football, he can actually catch it, put up numbers, and score touchdowns.
Yeah,
so we saw that. And nothing against Justin Fields. Everyone knows, I was on Justin Fields. I thought that he should continue to play. But, hand up, forgot about Russ. This man has the capability to play at an MVP level this year. He easily could work himself into the MVP conversation by the end of the season if he continues this quarterback play. I mean, shout out to Chuck. You were right. You were right. Week 1, we should have been talking about Russell Wilson when he comes back being an MVP because this man is going to fry 2 weeks in a row because you know who he has this week, Mike? In prime time again? The New York Giants. And you know what he's going to do to that defense? He's going to own them. He's going to run over them. With this team, he's going to run over them. We might see Justin Fields because it's going to be such a big blowout. That we might see both quarterbacks. And honestly, I do support using both of them because I think Justin Fields gives you a different option.
They were talking about that in the Jets game too.
Because it's not like he can't throw. It's not Taysom Hill. Like
red zone.
Like Justin Fields, yeah, maybe red zone, but I'm even thinking around like midfield. Like bring him in. Everyone's going to think he's going to run. Oh, you throw 4 verts at them. All of a sudden, Justin Fields is launching a ball down the field, and you have an easy touchdown because no one thinks that the throw's coming. Like there's plays that you can work into this, and
they just won't. They won't work those plays in. That's the thing.
No, they're not.
They won't. They're not going to do it.
Like, why would they do that? That's just not their identity.
Russ for MVP is a stretch, bro.
I think.
Hold on. Hold your horses.
All right. Well, we were all talking about how Aaron Rodgers could be MVP. We should have held our horses then. And that was week 1.
They were talking about Super Bowl contenders too, and I thought that was blasphemous.
I am all in on Russell Wilson.
Oh, here we go.
I think I am back in on him. I'm back in on him.
No.
I loved Russell Wilson
Wait
with
till
the
next week, guys.
gray face mask. Next week?
Wait
Dude, we're going to be talking about
How many times have we been
talking about
you know
a killing.
We've been here.
We're going to be talking about a slaughtering at MetLife. It's going to be bad what we're going to watch. Actually, it's not.
It's not
at MetLife. It's not at MetLife. But we're going to be killing giants out in the Steelers.
Stadium.
Yeah. What is it called now?
Acrisure Stadium.
Yeah, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Fucking stupid.
R.I.P. Heinz
But
Field.
when you look at their schedule coming up, they got the Giants, the Commies, the Ravens, the Browns, the Bengals, the Browns, the Eagles. And then the last 3 games is kind of a gauntlet. You got Ravens, Chiefs, Bengals. So they have tough games down the stretch. But when I look at their next 5, they could beat the Ravens at home.
Yeah.
Historically, they do.
Yeah.
And then the Bengals, they haven't been great this year. They could pull off a win. It's not like they got to travel far for that game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they could pull off the win. The Browns are horrible. I mean, Jameis Winston's going to be playing quarterback.
Let's
so we'll
go.
see. We'll
Finally.
see. We've been waiting for that.
Finally,
Did
bro.
you see his...
Yes.
Yeah, that was incredible.
Yes.
That was incredible. That was the most Jameis Winston thing of all
I'm
time.
so happy that he's finally getting his shot. And how long have we been calling for his number?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's about time. I hate that it had to happen this way, but it's about time.
Damn right, bro.
Feel bad for Deshaun Watson because they cheered him off the field,
Fuck
but
that guy.
it wasn't a good cheer.
Yeah, screw him.
But
screw him. Screw Deshaun Watson.
That's a bad fan base.
Love Jameis Winston. He was always the answer.
But back to this. I could see them winning 6, 7 in a row here. There's a chance that the Steelers could rattle off 6 or 7 in a row, and now we're going to be talking about them competing with the Chiefs, who I don't think the Chiefs will lose this year.
Yeah.
But they could be competing with the Chiefs for that number 1 seed. And that is crazy to think because when you looked at this team week 1, you were waiting for the collapse.
Coaching.
They were waiting for the collapse.
Coaching,
and that
bro.
is why Mike Tomlin will never lose his job.
Coaching.
That is why he'll never lose his job. He's the best coach in the NFL by
Coaching.
far. When you look at his track record,
100%.
there's a reason why this man's 500 or better every single year with a crap team half the time, other than the Big Ben years that he was gifted.
Yep.
But that man put together some seasons when you actually look back at it. And I'm happy for him that he finally has a quarterback that could win the MVP because he hasn't had that. He hasn't had that since Big Ben. And we're here. He's going to be throwing. I'm going to call it right now. He's going to have 4 touchdowns against the Giants. He's going to rush for like 30 yards. George Pickens is going to have another 100-yard game, 2 tutties. We're going to see Najee Harris run all over them. I'm in. Shout out to the Steelers fans. Logan, don't throw a hissy fit this week.
Why is it so
I'm all
fucking
in.
hard for us to just find a coach for once? Why it's so freaking hard, bro?
All right.
It's so hard, dude. What is so difficult about finding a coach? I just don't understand. Have an interview, go through the X's and O's, like fucking do a background. I don't know, bro. They fail constantly at hiring just a competent coach. It's unbelievable. I just don't get it. It is so hard. Rex Ryan, I see him on Get Up, and I'm like, please come back. Please. Like, that was the last coach. We hired Adam Gase, for Christ's sake. We need to just find someone to save us. Sorry. Kill Joe Namath, too. He's cursed. He has our curse.
You okay?
I could care about the team struggling. I watch that like once a week, and I'm like, dude, fuck this guy.
Like, follow, subscribe. Like, follow, subscribe. Like, follow, subscribe. Back to the show.
All right,
don't
moving
wanna
on.
get through
Moving on.
them.
Lions beat the Vikings in a very big divisional matchup for the NFC North. Are you gonna be okay?
I just had to get that out, bro.
All right,
I've been
all right.
waiting. Like, honestly, dude, I've actually thought I was gonna be way worse. Like, I was, like, right off the bat, hot as hell. But
Be
like,
worse.
Yeah, that was nothing.
All right, Lions won 31-29 against the Vikings. Huge divisional matchup.
Big. Shout out to Monroe, buddy.
Yeah,
Good
Brendan
stuff,
Monroe.
dude.
Brendan Monroe, fantastic calls this week. Shout out to you. The Lions, I think they have to be the favorite coming out of the NFC. I don't think there's any other way we could look at this.
Yeah.
They've been dominant. The offense looks great. I know the defense is giving up points. I mean, they gave up 29 to the Vikings, but
The Vikings are good.
the Vikings are a good team.
The same record. I can't forget that.
Same record. That division's just like it's
A powerhouse.
a powerhouse, and it's tough for me to be like, yeah, the Lions are the clear favorite, because then I look at that division, I'm like, I mean, there's no chance that they win every game. You know, like, are they really going to beat the Packers twice?
That division comes
Are
down
they
to
really
the
going
division
to beat
opponents.
the Vikings twice?
It's all divisional opponents.
Yeah.
Those games are going to matter the most. But I will say this about the Lions, because I think I've been saying this. I've still been on them. Like, I still think they're the NFC. They're going to win the NFC. They're just too overpowered on offense. J-Mo getting suspended 2 games hurts them in a way. Like, you could use that speed, but you have other speedy guys. Maybe Laporta can finally do something instead of picking corn in Iowa. Maybe he can actually, like, play for once. They're too overpowered on offense. They're too good, and it doesn't matter how many points they let up. They just score too many points, bro. And listen, they could have lost that game. Granted, they had a game-winning field goal, but they're so overpowered on offense. I just think they're too strong. They're too good.
I don't know, because we don't even know what the Commanders are going to be next week, because who knows about Jaden. He left the field injured. RG3 reincarnated.
Mm-hmm.
But like, the Packers 5-2, Vikings 5-1,
Bears
4-2.
Yeah.
You could argue that they have 4 of the top 5 teams in the NFC right now, like currently, and it's gonna suck for 2 of them, because I don't think 3 get in.
Yeah.
With the way that this league's going this year, it's crazy.
One of those
It's
teams
really
is going to
crazy
fall
me.
off, though, and I don't know who it's going to be. One of them will fall off.
I think it's going to be the Bears. Like the Bears
I
will
think
fall off,
them.
and then it's going to be between the Vikings and the Packers.
I think them are the Packers, bro. I like the Packers a lot, and like I thought they were frauds at the start of the year, but Jordan Love's doing Jordan Love things. Their defense smothered the Texans all day.
Yes, and I
they
know
won
the
off
Texans
of
didn't have Nico Collins, but
Yeah.
still great offense.
But the Bears too. Like, they're just playing fundamental sound football. Caleb looks great, but I just really like this Lions team, man. I just think they're too good. They're too good. Like, you watch that team, you're like, damn, bro, they're just a fucking powerhouse. Jahmyr Gibbs and Monty. I mean, this is one of the best backfields I've ever seen.
Yeah,
ever seen.
that was the first game Montgomery didn't score a touchdown in this year.
Yeah, and he still had a great game. But he also got hurt at one point. Like, he left the field. Jahmyr Gibbs, great. We got to put our RB2/RB1 AB back in the game. He goes off for 2 touchdowns, 100 yards, 44 receptions off 4 catches. Jared Goff, I mean, that trade worked out for them. He's been a stud. He's been a stud. Even the defense without Hutch right now, they let up points, but they look pretty good. I mean, they were getting to Sam. I thought the Vikings looked fine too. I mean, it was just a close, just shootout. It was a shootout.
Yeah,
and they got lucky and got the win at the end with a field goal. So I still think they're the clear favorites. I really do. But
so this brings me to my next question regarding this game: do we need to have some playoff reform? I know we've already added a team, but when you look at seasons like this and divisions like this, should it be just the top teams get in, and then from there you rank them? But you still have the 4 division winners, right? But now they get ranked within the those rankings, right? So because Minnesota is going to have a better record than possibly the NFC East champion, they might have a better record than them. They probably will have a better record than the Seahawks, and probably a better record than
you're
the
talking
NFC
about
South.
seeding,
Yeah,
seeding purposes.
for seeding.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't
Yeah.
get screwed when you're in the best division, right? Because let's say if they go the whole season, their only 2 losses are to the Lions. But the Lions win the division.
And then they're a wild card team.
And then they're a wild card team. And they're actually the 5th seed when really they're the second best team in the
It's
conference.
actually not a bad idea because I feel like that would just make it.
It would make it
wouldn't-
more competitive.
It would make it more competitive. Would it make it more fair for like these wild card teams? No, of course not. But like, if you're going seeding purposes, I think it would make it more competitive to just get wins. You know what I mean? Like you're not really. I mean, I don't know how to describe it, but it wouldn't be a bad idea. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't think it would change much in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, it would change matchups, but at the end of the day, how many times the 6, 7 seed actually get through? You know, how many times does that actually happen?
Mm-hmm. And I think that's why they won't do it because if you put, say, the Vikings go, they lose twice to the Lions, and they're the number 2 seed, and they're going against number 6, and
well,
the Vikings could just blow them out. Like if they, I think it's
just don't suck.
Yeah, that's true. Like I feel like they're just trying to make it like somewhat even, just for some upsets, which is how I think the playoff format kind of tends to be. It's a traditionalist way, you know how it goes.
I think it's soft.
But I see where you're coming from though. It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
But Goodell doesn't give a fuck.
Goodell doesn't care. He doesn't.
Why do you think we boom every time he's on the draft?
All right. Chiefs 28, 49ers 18. In an empty stadium out there in San Francisco. Empty stadium. Do we have to sound the alarms on this 49ers season? Because Brock Purdy's looking like the last pick in the draft.
Yes.
He's really starting to play like it. And if Christian McCaffrey can't come back from every joint in his lower body being injured, they're horrible. Ayuk, out for the season. Blew his knee up.
Oh, he was terrible.
Debo
anyways.
Samuel somehow has pneumonia in the hottest state in the country.
Mm-hmm.
How do you even get pneumonia out there? Isn't that when you're really cold? No, it's hypothermia.
Yeah, it's hypothermia.
That's on me. Hand up.
Pneumonia is like chest problems, breathing.
Yeah.
Breathing problems.
But that's soft.
Pollution, man.
That's soft. Yeah, pollution.
Kittle with a foot injury. Ricky Pearsall shot in the chest. Back.
He came back before Christian McCaffrey.
He did.
And he got shot.
I know. Wild.
Yeah.
That's a true hero right there.
Yeah.
Jawan Jennings, McCaff, they're banged up bad.
Yeah.
And again, hey, no excuse though, right? There's no excuse.
No excuses. You have to still try and win games. And
Brock looks lost. He looked bad. I mean, you got to give credit to the Chiefs, bro. I mean, they're just the Chiefs. They're the Chiefs. They're a dynasty. This. Look at what he's throwing to right now. Mm-hmm. Look at what Mahomes is throwing to right now, and they're beating the Niners in San Francisco, 28-18. Coaching again. Travis Kelce, okay. Xavier Worthy, okay. There wasn't really one guy on the receiving core that went ballistic on the Niners. I mean, that's just the greatness of the Chiefs and Andy Reid. I mean, they're just a powerhouse. Doesn't matter who. This is why he's in the GOAT conversation. This is why we talked about this. This is why I called it. He's in the GOAT conversation. But, yeah, no, the Niners are banged up bad, and they just can't seem to figure it out. Trent Williams throwing punches, love it. I love when he starts throwing punches. Mm-hmm. That's my favorite. But, yeah, they're beat up, man. And, like, they're losing a lot of guys. Pretty much their whole starting lineup for their weapons. Mm-hmm. McCaffrey, I mean, at this point, it's like, do you even want him to play this year? Like, are you going to risk his injury?
I would just sit him because what I'm about to say, I have 2 things on this game, especially coming up. I will not apologize when the Cowboys win this game. I will not apologize. And I will act as if the 49ers are still the 49ers that they've been. And I will make sure everyone knows that.
But that's their JV team, though.
Number two. No one acted like it was the Cowboys JV team. Number 2. I don't think this 49ers team makes the playoffs. I think there's a chance they come in last place in their division this year.
Really?
I really do. I just think the way that they're playing, the way Brock Purdy's playing.
Out though, man.
What?
The Cardinals just can't figure it out.
No, I know that, but if they could just figure it out a little bit and win the games they're supposed to, they could lose to the 49ers and still finish above them. Like,
hey, they beat them once.
They're going to split with the Rams. They'll probably split with the Seahawks. Like all you got to do is win your other games, and you'll be above them. Like, well, I think the Cardinals finish in second place there. I think the Rams finish in third, just because the Rams are so weird. Doesn't make sense to me. The Rams, every time I think of them, I'm like, oh, I'm not going to take that game because the Rams could win. But then I watch them, and I'm like, this team is fucking terrible. They are horrible. They can't win anything. I feel like they're missing 10 players on both sides of the ball. And but that's actually what the 49ers are. Like, what I think of the Rams when I watch them is literally what the 49ers are this year, but they don't even have a quarterback. I think the Rams have Matt Stafford at least.
Mm-hmm.
The 49ers, I mean, it's official. You did take the last pick of the draft. It was Brock Purdy. He is the last pick. And this is what happens when the last pick has to play with guys who were close to the last pick as well.
You know what makes me laugh? When Gassy was here, he sold us, and we put him on a top 5 quarterback list.
Yeah, that can't
happen.
Yeah,
never again.
Can't happen.
I love you, Gass, but he's a stand for him. And the fact that we had him top 5 at one point, respectfully, he was playing really good, and the system fit his needs, and he was doing what he had to do. Now, there are a lot of quarterbacks that were in the top 10 last year that are nowhere close to being in the top 10 now.
Not even close.
I mean, look at Mahomes. I wouldn't even consider him a top 10 quarterback right now. I mean, that'll come out in 2 weeks, or I think next week, whenever I have to do it. But he just there's so many freaking factors to it, though. We don't have to get into it, but yeah, it's the panic button is being pressed in San Francisco right now because they just they're not healthy and they're banged up and they got to find ways to get wins without those guys. They got to find wins. And listen, this is the thing. We've talked about this system that this 49ers have developed. Oh, they should win every game because it's the system that they're in, correct? Okay, here's the system. You're missing a couple players, but your system is working, is it not? Yep. This is the system that got you wins into the Super Bowl last year. Mm-hmm. Let's see it now. Because it doesn't matter what players you have. It didn't matter for the Chiefs. They have a bunch of freaking injuries too. We don't talk about that. Isaiah Pacheco's out. Marquise Brown's out. Rashee Rice is out. Yet they're finding ways to win games. Listen, I'm not making excuses for the Niners either, bro. I'm right there with you.
I will not apologize. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Comment and subscribe. Don't comment me about what the Cowboys are going to do this week. They're not going to win. Like, comment, subscribe. All right, let's move on. Last game here. Ravens beat the Bucs in very, very comforting fashion, 41-31. The Bucs tried to mount a comeback at the end and wasn't really
cost them a receiver.
Godwin now has left the game with a serious leg injury. Mike Evans still injured. Mm-hmm. You got Baker throwing 2 back-to-back interceptions, doesn't help against a fiery offense.
Still MVP.
Okay. My question to you, because I don't really need to get into this too much, but did this Monday night game say more about the Ravens or the Bucs moving forward at this point?
Well, I think I still think the Bucs are a really good team. Like I still think Baker's a stud. I still think he can be MVP, but I think Lamar's going to take it. Which is, and listen, I always like an underdog over MVP. That's just me. Everyone knows me. I love that. But no, this is the Ravens. I mean, it didn't really say much about either team, to be honest. I mean, the Bucs put up points. The Ravens put up points. You know what I think this says? This says a lot more about Lamar Jackson. Mm-hmm. Because Lamar looked accurate last night. He was making great throws. He was looking downfield. And all the haters that are now coming up, oh, Lamar MVP, blah, blah, blah. That one dude commented, Baker MVP, Lamar. Shout out to you, bro. Because, yeah, he's definitely an MVP caliber right now. This said more about Lamar Jackson and that Ravens team. I mean, but what did it say? We all knew you had them number 1 and for your best team. So did I.
I did.
Like this is what we expected, and they're actually doing it now. I will say this: when playoff time comes, you better get to the Super Bowl, man. Because now if you don't get to the Super Bowl, you're thrown in the Dak conversation. And it's no hate on Dak, but he's on that road, dude. He does great in the regular season, but we need to see a playoff win. I listen. I love Lamar. I love the Ravens. I love Derrick Henry. Zay Flowers going down hurts, but again, they may do with it, and they got likely involved. Mark Andrews resurrection potentially. They're getting him involved. Justice Hill. They got the players. They got the line. They got the defense. They have no excuse to lose. Like they can win this. They can win it all, and I hope they do. I really do. The Bucs. Listen. Baker's that type of guy. Reminds me of Favre a little bit. He's going to throw. He's going to sling it. He's going to throw a couple of picks. It's okay. But that's how they score their points. They have a great running back tandem with Sean Tucker, Bucky Irvin. Shout out to Bucky. Love you, guy. And Rashad White. Shout out to you. Almost beat Matt Harlan. Shout out to you. They're banged up too. They only really have 2 receivers, but they'll still find ways to get points. Baker's too good to just let up and give up this football team. So what are they, 4-3 now? I believe 4-3. Atlanta, I think, is 3-4. I think they're 4-3 as well. That division is still to be won, man. The Saints aren't winning it. The Panthers obviously are not winning it. They're fine. If we just need Mike Evans to get healthy, they were down by 10 points. Okay, it was a close game. They came back. Ravens took their foot off the pedal like they usually do. They made it a game, dude. They were up like 10-0 at the start. They gave up unanswered points. I still believe in that team, and I still believe in Baker. But I also believe in the Ravens and Lamar. That was a shootout. It was always going to be a shootout. But I just think the Ravens have that edge because their defense is a lot better than the Bucs defense. The Bucs defense is an issue, and we need to talk about that. It is an issue. The run game, the secondary, big issue. But again, when you get guys that are just going to throw up points and you can maybe get a turnover here and there and just let them cook on offense, so be it. So be it. Let them do it, because that's kind of the trajectory we're going nowadays in the league, is get an offensive powerhouse where you could put up points and have a defense that could just limit some of those points where we could score more and they could score less. Game of football. That was a very stupid remark, but it's okay. But just get points. That's it. I think the Bucs are that team where it doesn't matter what their defense does. They're just going to throw up so many points and they're going to score because they're a very good offensive team. But now with all these injuries, it is a little nerve-wracking. We thought that the Aiden Hutchinson injury would make a big difference. It didn't really make that much of a difference. Like, they still got to Sam. They let up some points. 29. But the Bucs on the offensive side, I mean, you're losing one of the best receivers in the league in Chris Godwin right now. Mike Evans is dealing with a hammy injury. You know how that goes. So, you know what I think they need to do? I thought about this last night. There's one guy that needs to leave a team, and he's looking for a new home, and his name is DeAndre Hopkins. They should go get DeAndre Hopkins because that would help out that team drastically right now. They should. Yeah.
They should. If there was,
he doesn't have a health concern right now. Huh?
Yeah. And he's on the trade block.
Oh, of course. He's on the trade block, bro. He's been on the trade block for pretty much every year of his career right now. Yeah. But that's a big guy that will help your team. He will help Baker. The guys beneath them will learn from him. Go get D-Hop. Because Godwin's out now, and you have a chance to really make a run in the playoffs. You could do it. Listen, they could do it. Go get D-Hop or go get someone else, Deontay Johnson, Adam Thielen, someone that can help your team. I think they're a team that's going to. Watch. Calling it now. Baseball time.
Baseball time. Baseball time.
Me or you first? You want the negativity?
Like, who are you? I want to ask you, who are you favoring in the World Series?
Oh, dude, I don't even want to watch it at this point, bro. I don't even. I see you cheering. I'm like, oh, dude, my buddy's a Yanks fan, but they're like, oh, 28. I'm like, fuck you.
The Yankees have to win this year. Giancarlo Stanton is playing out of his mind. He's batting like 240, and he only hits home runs. It's awesome. The dude is jacked. Every home run, he just stares down the pitcher. He's having a great time. It's the most fun I've seen Stanton have since he came to New York. Juan Soto, pay the guy. Juan Soto, fantastic. I will start a GoFundMe, and we will get this man paid by tomorrow. He is the best player in baseball at this moment. Best player in baseball, no questions asked. And then on top of that, we have Aaron Judge, who is the MVP. He is the best player. He's finally hitting the ball. He's looked great this series. Our defense has looked phenomenal. Now, one thing we do have to clean up for the World Series is between second and third, we have to figure out how to run the bases.
Yes.
We are not.
Yeah, you guys are like children running the bases, bro.
Between home and first, good. Between first and second, good. Between second and third,
home and first.
Between
home
miserable.
and first, it's good.
Miserable.
You literally have one job.
Dude.
Home to first, you have one job.
It's miserable. But, dude, our pitching, fantastic. If there was a year we were going to win it, it's this year. That we are so complete. We are the complete opposite of the Jets and the Cowboys. We are so complete on both sides of the ball. All three phases of the game. Pitching, fielding, hitting, everything looks so complete. Verdugo's at the bottom of the lineup making great hits, getting on base, just doing his job. Glaber, who got benched. I don't think people remember this. 3 months ago, we were calling for this man to get sent out in New York, and he was benched. He was basically like being told it's time to go. You've been horrible. Is now one of the best leadoff hitters in the league if you went from the last month. He's fantastic. He continues to hit the ball. He can't stop hitting the ball. I can't wait for us to have a Derek Jeter moment in Game 1 on Friday night when he steps up to the plate to lead off and starts off the series with a home run. He's going to start off the series with a home run. We're going to be looking at this. We got the throwback turtlenecks, literally throwbacks. They pulled them out of a supply closet, gave them to them. They are the original cotton. We everything. We have the biggest aura in the MLB right now. The World Series is our thing. We own the World Series. This is our time. We have the best team. We have the best pitching. We have the best players. I don't care about Ohtani. Ohtani looked like crap. He has a bionic arm. I think we should be checking that out because I think it's a fake arm. That's just me. I think the Dodgers pitching is shaky. You're letting the Mets score 10 runs on you.
Hey.
No offense to the Mets. Very good series. You guys tried. You got blown out in 4 games. But, listen, the Dodgers are giving up. Yeah, but you had to lose 4 games. No? 3 games. 3 games, 4 games.
They're a hell of a team, bro.
Listen.
Hell of a team.
Listen.
Yankees lose.
The Dodgers give up runs. And now you're going up against a team who literally just loves to smack the ball around the field. That's not a good recipe for success, especially when our pitching has been fantastic. Our bullpen outside of the last 2 games, I would say, has been very, very good. Even the last game, I would say the last 3 games it was shaky, but the last game it was actually decent. Kept us in the game, kept it at 2-2, gave us a chance to win, and we did win.
I hope Emmanuel.
The Dodgers don't have that. The Dodgers don't have that type of pitching. Yeah, they got names. They got Yamamoto, who came over here from Japan, right? Came over here from Japan. Everyone's like, this dude's going to throw no-hitters every night. He gets shelled basically every time I watch him. Not impressed.
Fantasy team.
The only 2 people on that team that I am scared of are Ohtani and Mookie Betts. Everyone else, nope, I'm not scared of Freeman.
I watch him, bro. He's an injury.
I watched Freeman basically strike out every at-bat that we had. It wasn't even good. It wasn't good. Kiki Hernandez, that's the first time I'm hearing his name this postseason. I don't need to deal with him.
He's the hottest. Him and Tommy Edman are the hottest people in the postseason right now.
I know.
And that's not even just against the Mets.
I know. I'm trying to talk myself into believing. Mike.
I know. All right, how about this? Give me your prediction. What do you got? I know you're going to take the Yanks. In how many games?
Yankees
Don't say
in 6.
4. Okay. Yankees in 6.
No, I'm not you.
When do I have, bro? What?
Rangers going to win the Stanley Cup. We're winning everything in 4.
Dude, we were close.
We ain't doing that.
I also said
the Yankees
Florida
are
was
winning
winning
in
the
6.
Cup.
The Yankees are winning in 6. Unfortunately, we're going to have to fly out to that godforsaken place to win this thing. Hopefully, we don't have to. Hopefully, we can pull one out there in LA. I think we do. I think we get game 1, to be honest with you, Mike. And then I think we'll drop game 2. And then hopefully we rattle off 3 wins in New York when the place is rocking. The stadium that Ruth looked at from across the street, didn't build, but looked at hopefully from heaven. But we're gonna win this series. Mark my words.
This is a series. I mean, I hate this series as a Mets fan, and probably every fan in the country.
You know what, Mike?
Can I speak?
No,
Mr. Cutoff.
Give me a second. You were cutting me off. I'm trying to hype myself up in the Yankees fans. You're cutting me off talking about Kiki Hernandez. No, he ain't winning. Listen,
Kiki Hernandez.
Listen, bro.
You're fucking insane.
Listen.
Kiki Hernandez.
Listen.
He's gonna hit a home run every single game. I'm calling it now.
That's not happening. All right, listen.
Kiki Hernandez.
Listen.
You're funny.
Listen, look at. I don't even remember what I was going to say. But, that's what. I have Mets fans DMing me telling me that the Yankees are going to lose. Bro, I don't care about the Mets. You weren't even supposed to be there. I was cheering for you guys to make the World Series, and now you guys, when you lose, I haven't said a word about it. Now I am. The Mets, you guys got blown out every game. So fuck all of you, not Mike. Fuck all of you. Because,
thanks, bro.
Because you guys are in my DMs telling me the Yankees are going to lose. Buddy. I was cheering for you guys. I didn't want to see the Dodgers. I wanted to see you guys out of respect for the Subway Series.
Can you ask my prediction?
I will. I did that before, and then you gave me some BS about the Mets. But to the Mets fans that are DMing me, telling me that the Yankees are going to lose and that the Dodgers are a much bigger test than the Indians, wow, thanks for telling me the obvious.
Guardians.
Oh, sorry, yeah, Guardians. I mean, but I'm old. I saw them play when I was younger. I could call them what I want.
They were sick.
When did they become the Guardians? 2020?
Somewhere, yeah, 2018 to 2020.
All right, so if you're 4 years old or younger, you have to call them the Guardians. Let's just set that one clear. All right, so no shit. The Guardians are clearly worse than the Dodgers. Whoop-de-doo. How was
They do,
I?
Basil.
Did no one know that? Did no one know that? Whoa, wait! The Guardians are worse than the Dodgers. Holy smokes, Mike! Holy
These are what
smokes.
Mets fans are telling
Yes,
you. It's like,
yes.
no, come on, guys.
No,
You're
crap.
better than that.
Like, obviously,
Obviously, they're bad. They're the worst, bro. Like, I mean, not the worst, but like the Dodgers are clearly better than those teams.
Yeah,
come on, Mets fans. What the
yeah.
fuck.
Okay, over to you, Mike. I just had to get that off my chest. That wasn't directed at you.
You hype me up, bro. You hype me up. Will I say that you have an easier path than the Dodgers? Maybe. But
No,
I'm
we
going to
did.
go
We
Yanks
did.
in 7.
We
How's
did.
that?
Oh,
I'll go Yanks in 7 because New York is New York,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone hates the Dodgers. And some people hate the Yanks. Listen, I'm probably going to root for you guys. Listen, I
Is it
hate that you have
crazy?
28 World Series,
Yeah.
but I will go with the Yanks. At home, that is going to be the key. Those games in New York for both teams, not just you guys, but the Dodgers. The Dodgers are powerful, bro. They are a good team. Their pitching, their bullpen is good. Their bullpen knows they're going to be fully rested. They're going to throw a lot of junk at you guys, but you guys have to hit.
Yeah.
That's the thing because the Dodgers are hit. They are hot as fuck right now. And Tommy Edman,
Well,
Mookie Betts.
So are the Yankees.
yes, I think they're deeper though. I think they're 5 to 9 is a little bit better than you because they're getting contact and they're hitting the ball. But so are you guys.
I would argue
It's close. It's close.
I
But
would
it's going to
argue-
come down to pitching. That's all it's going to come down to. It's going to be pitching. It always comes down to pitching. If the Yanks can keep doing what they're doing, the bullpen could come in.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, they see Shohei up at bat, and then you're like, fuck. Like, those are potential walks if you have to.
Mm-hmm.
But then you got to throw to Mookie Betts, and that's one of the best players in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Then you see Freddie Freeman, you're like, oh, no, that's not good. You got to find ways to get those guys out and limit the damage. They're going to do damage on you, but you got to limit it.
Yeah, so I hear you. I think the Dodgers, I have lefty hitters that are going to abuse the short porch in New York. Eventually it is just going to happen. But
Whenever Rodona's pitching,
But-
I'll get taken the Yanks, by the way.
what was I going to say now?
Sorry.
Threw me off that.
Sorry.
It's all right. It's all right. It'll come back to. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I would argue that our bottom half is more dangerous
It's close
because
man.
they're so unpredictable. Like you know exactly what the bottom half of that lineup wants to do and will be good at. Our bottom half, no one knows what they're going to do or what they're good at on the night. You don't know what pitches they're going to be good at hitting. So it's a complete just go pitch them and hope for the best.
Mm-hmm.
With the Dodgers guys, you can tell where they're good at hitting because they're good. Like Verdugo, dude, this man struck out 4 times in a row, just getting jammed the whole time, and then comes up with the most clutch hit. I mean, the hit went 4 yards down the baseline, but the most clutch hit of all time in that game, was it 4 or 5? I think it was 4. But that's the type of shit I'm talking about. These guys just pull shit out of their ass at the bottom of our lineup. And also, Volpe's down there.
But that's
People
the
forget
difference, bro.
But Volpe needs to get more credit because I'm pretty sure he's batting 450 this postseason.
That's the difference in baseball. Is you have your power hitters at the first 4 batting spots in the lineup, but
well, we have Jazz Chisholm up there.
Jazz as well. What you have him 5?
He was batting 4.
He was batting 4.
Yeah, he has
Yeah.
0 hits.
So
1 hit.
So hold on. What is the lineup right now? What
Okay,
what is it usually?
So we had for the most part of the postseason, it was
Gleyber,
Soto, Judge, Chisholm,
Jazz,
Giancarlo.
then
And
Verdugo,
then it was
Oswaldo.
Was Volpe after? I want to say there was someone between Stanton and Volpe, but that one kind of rotated because it was Oswaldo, it was Burr, it was a couple
Birdie,
of people.
Yeah. But this is the thing though. It's
But Verdugo's batting 9.
That's the difference in this series is what are those later guys gonna do, and are they gonna get on base? Because
That's
against
the best
the
part,
Mets,
Mike. No one knows
exactly. But
It's
the thing is,
awesome.
when we were watching the Mets, I'll get into the Mets too. But our bottom half of the lineup just was not producing. There were some couple hits, but it was Lindor,
Ours is.
Mark Vientos, Pete here and there off a lucky hit, Starling Marte. Their bottom half of the lineup was smoking us, bro. Kike Hernandez, Tommy Edman. I think he was batting 4 or 5 too. Will Smith, Pages, Andy Pages is 23 years old. Had 2 home runs against us. He was killing us too. Sacrifice flies and everything. That's going to be the key. That and because again, we know what the heart of the lineup's going to do and pitching. And listen, I believe the Dodgers are favorited over you. They were favored over you 100%.
Rizzo, we have Rizzo back.
Jesus Lord.
What?
That terrible glove. Oh, my God, dude. Watching him play first base against the Guardians was a fucking terrible thing to watch. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He looked so bad at first.
Well, I mean,
like, what the fuck was he doing?
listen, he's got 2 broken fingers.
Oh, bullshit. Make a catch.
All right, Mike, you get in there with broken fingers. Let me break your fingers, then we're going to go outside.
You got a hammer?
Yeah, I do,
let's
actually.
go. But I'm going to take the Yanks
But he's
in 7.
batting 429 right now.
Nice. The Dodgers are definitely favored. I would say to win the series, they're probably like minus 150 is my guess. It's very pick'em. I think they're going to be favorited, but man, I don't know. I guess I'm going to root for you guys. I have to. You're a Yanks fan. Gassie's a Yanks fan. A lot of my buddies are Yanks fans. Fuck the Dodgers. Always fuck the Dodgers. Let's go, Yanks. Y'all could do it. I don't want to root at all, but I'm going to take the Yanks.
I mean, obviously I'm taking the Yanks, but I last thing here, then we'll move on. I think our pitching will go against their hitting, and it'll even out how our hitting will go against their pitching. I think it's going to be very even because, okay, when we give up runs, there's going to be games where we unleash on them. I think this is a 6 or 7 game series.
That bullpen is going to be crucial for you guys, man. Your whole pitching staff just has to pitch, man. Yeah, I like that guy a lot. I think he's
wiry.
He's got the fire in him, dude. He's got the fire in him. So, yeah.
All right.
Is that it for the show?
Well, we have the.
Oh wait, I got to talk
rankings.
about the Mets real quick.
I got power rankings.
Can I give a nice heartfelt message?
Mets power rankings.
All right. To the Mets fans, I'll include the fans here. The ride was fun. The ride was enjoyable. Listen, they were 11 games under 500. They started out 0-5. We were down bad. Typical. Oh, here we go. Same old Mets. They bring up Vientos. Stud. It's going to be a stud. They bring up Iglesias, one of the top artists right now in Latin music, which is hilarious to me. A remix with Pitbull and a guy named Silvestri. That's all you need to know. What they have accomplished this year is only going to get better for the future. What we saw this past year in 2024, the 2024 New York Mets, we weren't supposed to be here. Listen, we might have a high payroll, but we were underperforming, and we were not good. But we turned it around, and we were the best team in baseball in the second half of the year. We beat the Brewers off a beautiful Pete Alonso home run. We fucking manhandled the Phillies, and we lost to the Dodgers in 6. I don't know how you can be mad about that. You got to be proud of these guys for what they accomplished this year. Carlos Mendoza coming in, first year as a head coach. He's manager of the year, by the way. It's not even a question. David Stearns coming in and making all those moves, getting rid of Verlander, Scherzer, DeGrom. Shout out to you, still D-GOAT. Bringing up these young prospects. Wait till next year. We got Mauricio, who's going to be healthy, hopefully with an ACL. Acuna, Drew Gilbert. We got a lot of people, man. We got a lot of players. That's a team. That's not a roster. That's a team. They had fun this year. I loved it. Matt, this is the best type of baseball I've ever watched for the Mets. The postseason with Daniel Murphy was close, but this season was just different. Grimace, a McDonald's mascot, saving our year. Oh, my God. Gandalita. Fantastic. I'm so proud of these guys. I am so happy how this season has went. We beat the Phils in the NLDS. We moved on to the NLCS. We got close, man. We really did. We showed fight. That's all. Listen, the Magic was going to run out at some point. You know this. You know I said this. You call me soft for this, but it was. Listen, the Dodgers are a fucking good team. But I'm so proud of these guys. Pete Alonso, bring him back, man. He bring him back. Just bring him back, man. You got to bring these guys back. Mania, give him the check. Give him the check. You go for Soto in the offseason. You know that. That's going to be their number one priority, by the way. Soto is everyone's number one priority. You get him. If Tariq Skubal somehow, you get him too. But
if they win the World Series, he's got to come back.
Is Cashman going to pay him? That's the only thing. We don't have to get into it.
He will.
But
he will.
I think he will too. But I'm proud of this team. LFGM. Let's go Mets. Can't wait for next year. Cannot wait. This is our expectation now, 100%. If we can get to the NLCS with this team and only get better next year, I can't see why we can't win the division. I truly can't. So shout out to you guys. Love the Mets. Let's go Mets. Not about the money, Spider-Man. It's about the Mets, baby. Let's go Mets. Power rankings.
All right.
Sorry.
All right. Moving on here. Power rankings. Okay. Do you want me to start from 10 like normal?
Yes. Hold on. Write it down. We're going to compare it to last week.
All right. Here we go. Number 10. Coming in at number 10. Texans at number 10 at 5-2. I have the Bengals at 9. They are trending. The Packers come in at 8 at 5-2. I love what they are doing, pun intended. Bills at 5-2. Steelers 5-2. Bucks at 5-3. The Vikings at 5-1. I think they're going to be back. They'll move back up. The Ravens 5-2. The Chiefs jump up into number 2 at 6-0. It's the first time he's 6-0. I don't think that's a good sign for the three-peat. And then the Lions, we said it on the show, 5-1. I think they're the best team in the NFL at the moment. They got swagger. They got Dr. Dan at head coach. He's running that thing. He knows what he's doing. So that's my top 10. I got the Lions, Chiefs, and Ravens in the top 3, and then we follow it with the Vikings, Bucks, Steelers, Bills, Packers, Bengals, Texans. Bengals jump up from 10 to 9. I'm sure that won't piss anyone off. Mike, what do you think?
This is probably, I think, is your best list yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of other teams that deserve the.
Do you want the first 4 out?
Yep, first 4 out. Let me hear it.
All right, Bears, Washington, Falcons, Seahawks. Washington fell out just because.
Jaden.
Yeah, I don't know what that injury is going to do to them. I know they have a favorable matchup this week, but I'm concerned. Everyone knows I'm not bought in on this team. I'm bought in on him, not the team. And I think that if he is not playing the whole game, I think when they run into actual teams like that are in that top 10, they will struggle. I think they're going to struggle. So I have the Bears, Washington Falcons, and Seahawks in the first 4 out. Would you put any of those ones in over the top 10?
I like this list. This is your best list. I'm a fan. The only thing is top 3. You could just switch. You can swap them however you want. You could have the Chiefs one. You could have the Ravens one.
Yeah.
I would probably have the Ravens over the Chiefs right now. I'd probably have Chiefs at 3. But even the Ravens one, dude. I mean that's the only thing. Everything else I like. I really do.
The top 3 was tough, and I'm just looking at performance throughout the whole team, and I think that the Lions over the last couple weeks have been the most consistent out of the 3 in terms of full team performance.
Even after last night, what the Ravens did.
Everyone knows how I feel about the Ravens, but the top 3, I mean, there's no difference in them. I could sit up here and just put them in alphabetical order and just have them all be number 1.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, next 4 out. Now, this bottom half is where there could be some dispute about what bracket you're in, but I don't think there will be. The next 4 out is the Colts, Broncos, Cardinals, Dolphins. The Broncos sneak up into there because I thought their run game was amazing against the Saints. I thought it was very good.
They're not a bad team, man.
No,
they're finally they're figuring it out.
Yeah,
truly,
they look good. I think the Colts are just going to hang around. They're going to be around. They're going to play tough games, and I don't think they're going to do much this year. The Cardinals trending. Dolphins, I moved them up into the next 4 out.
Tua.
Because Tua's coming back, and he ain't no bitch. He ain't wearing that Guardian cap. I think that's a mistake, but he ain't wearing it.
Does it really fucking help? Let's be real here.
No, but when you've had 10 million concussions and your brain's probably the size of a walnut now, you should try and take precautions, but that's just me. Last 4 out, Cowboys, Eagles, Chargers, 49ers. I'm keeping the Cowboys in there because they were on the bye week, and I think similar to the Dolphins, just seeing them not play helped them in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So, and I dropped the 49ers down into that bracket. We talked about it.
The Birds is interesting now.
The Birds.
You think they're going to come back a lot? I think now they have a really good matchup against the Bengals this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big game to really see where those teams are at because the Bengals are starting to rattle off wins and the Eagles look good off a bye. Granted, it was the Giants, but
so Eagles fans are going to be pissed they're not in the first 4 out or the top 10, which is completely fine.
They're not in the top 10 yet.
I don't have a single NFC East team in the top 10. Now, if they beat the Bengals,
they're going to jump up.
I will have to consider it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're going to be in it, but I'll have to consider it.
Mm-hmm.
Cowboys, same thing. If they beat the 49ers, I already said I'm not going to apologize. They're going to be moving up. So maybe we see 2 NFC East teams move up over Washington this week. Who knows? The final 4 out, and this is where I had the most trouble because I debated on just eliminating this whole section. It just have a whole bottom half. You know what I mean? But I decided to keep it out of respect to you. The Rams, the Jets, the Saints, and the Jags.
Fuck me, man.
That's the final 4 out, and that leaves the Raiders, Giants, Titans, Panthers, Browns, and the Patriots. The Patriots fell out of this. I think the Patriots are a decent team, new coach, everything. They got Drake May it's only his second week, but they are my last place team. I have them below the Browns, the Panthers, the Titans, the Giants, and the Raiders. They are my last place team. The rest of those teams, no order, but the Patriots, dead last. Why? Because their head coach came out and meant it when he said that they are soft. It wasn't to give them fire. It was literally my team is soft. And you know what
Gerard Mayo said that?
Yes.
Bill Belichick said that.
Yeah, but that was to fire him up, and like people knew that. He just called them soft. He said, I have a lot of soft players. And you know what?
Wow.
That sends you to the bottom. That sends you to the bottom. You're just not you're done. You're done. You're cooked. Your players are cooked. It's over. So
this is your best list, by the way. I didn't even write the rest because I agree with everything.
Thank you.
I everything in your top 10. Probably would still have the commies in there. That's it. I still am high on the commies. Another great game this weekend too. A lot of good games.
The commies, I mean, they certainly could be in there, but when you look at this list, I mean, you can make an argument for any of those top 10 teams to knock them out. I mean, I don't think it's any disrespect to the commies to be in the first 4 out, being that your quarterback is out. I mean,
I don't think he's going to be out for
long. I don't
long
think he's
either.
going to be out for long, but it's still like you played the Panthers. It's not like you were playing the Bengals and still won like that. And you're still in a good group of teams. You're with the Falcons, who have been good. You're with the Seahawks, who have been good. You're with the Bears, who surprisingly have been good. You're not with the Colts, Broncos, Cardinals, Dolphins. Be happy. Be happy. You're going to drop out of there soon.
I like it.
That's
Good
all
way
I
to
got.
end.
Yeah. Good?
We're good, man. Let's move on.
See you guys.
See you guys.